Hi and welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about my training up to the 50 mile 80k ultra marathon I'm doing in less than 2 weeks now. Talk a little bit more about what I've done, how I've built up in my personal situation, juggling all kinds of things away from a traditional training program as most people would do it or recommend it, and then what I'm about to do the next few weeks, which will basically be tapering weeks. So I was able to pretty much successfully continue to combine my 3 strength training sessions a week, which I incorporated leg workouts in. Nothing heavy, no heavy squats, but lots of body weight or lightweight, high reps, not necessarily high reps per set, but many sets with very little rest in between. So I've been able to successfully do that, as well as continue my 3 running workouts a week. That's basically what I can kind of handle with my schedule, as well as recovery and so on, and that has been fairly good. I've been able to work with different factors during that training, not as much building up tons of miles or as much as I even should or would have liked to do, but I was able to switch up intensity, terrain, combination of training, recovery, and so on. Here we are, December, Tuesday the 20th. I did not do the ultra last Saturday, Sunday, basically Saturday midnight into Sunday. So I did not, because my children gave me the early Christmas gift of the stomach flu. I only recovered by Friday afternoon, so there was no way I had the energy in the tank to complete the 50 miles successfully. So instead, what I'm going to do is tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm gonna do my own backyard ultra marathon in the area. I'm gonna be self-reliant, just swing back, basically treat my house as a refueling station, grab some stuff if needed, but basically clock is ticking. So that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a completely solo 50 mile ultra marathon. Good and bad things is you're close to home, feels familiar, you know the terrain really well. The bad things is you are lacking that adrenaline of doing it in a race setting or an event setting and with 40, 50, 100 people around you. So pros and cons, but I'm really excited about it. So I'm really hoping I've recovered well enough from basically 3 weeks of illness, especially the last one was like 5 days that I was completely out. I couldn't really do anything, completely depleted of energy, couldn't eat well, dehydrated, you know, typical stuff when you're pretty sick. So we'll see what the factor of that is, but I'm really excited, so stay tuned and I'll let you know how it goes. So this is my training calendar for 2022. You can see September, October, November, the training hours going up dramatically, and then December, due to tapering, dramatically less. However, in the last 3 weeks with constant illnesses, it has not been going perfectly. So late October, did a long run, which felt great, and then the week 2 weeks after, I did another 32-kilometer run, which absolutely felt awful because I was really busy in my personal life, lots of work. The week after, did a 28k, which felt great. Then I started doing back-to-back runs. Started with 15k, then another 20, and then I did a 20k back-to-back run as well. After that, I ran 3 days in a row, 2 of which are about 20k. That felt great, and then I started thinking about intensity, shorter runs, higher intensity, and then I started tapering. In the middle of this, I had some illnesses, and then last week I was really out for 5 days, could barely do anything, which really messed me up. So that's why tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm doing my own ultra marathon. So as you know, for the last 2.5 months, I've also been working really hard, managing and building the house. Obviously, most of the work is done by others, by contractors, but still, it's a lot of, you know, as I said, managing, organizing, figuring things out. So here's a little update on that. So you see a lot has changed, a lot of work goes into this. We're used to building in wood coming from the US. Now seeing a house built in brick is a whole different process. It's really interesting to see. Structurally, it's quite incredible because there are such heavy loads on the structure that the engineering has to be very well thought out. So the first floor of the house is pretty much built. Now we have to start on the facade stone. We already started on the other side a little bit, and we're working hard on the structural elements. The rough construction of the pool is completed, and we're going to finish the rest in the spring. But it feels really good getting this done already. And we've also built our greenhouse, almost finished, and then we're going to install our vegetable beds as well as chicken coop also in the next few months. As you can see, there's some quite extensive structural elements, both in concrete columns as well as steel beams. This is the gym, which we're obviously very excited about. It's a really nice space, about the size of a 2-car garage, and will be vaulted all the way up to the roof. On this side, we started on the facade stone. Obviously there's very thick insulation, 14 centimeters of insulation. Now it's not grouted yet. With the grout, it's going to look tremendously different. It'll be a light grout, which will really brighten up the entire look. So since we're in a forest environment, we have to reforest or plant new forest in part of our property, which is exactly what I'm walking through. So I've already planted 100 laurel trees as well as 120 birch trees, and this is what it looks like. Now, as fall/winter hit us fairly hard last few weeks, all the leaves have fallen, but this will basically be a beautiful birch forest, which looks like an aspen forest if you're from the US. Finally, I want to show some footage of a vicious off-road near Bruges in Belgium. It's an off-road specialist where I go to with my Defender for all work, maintenance, all that stuff. They have a great selection of stuff. They do a really good job. This is not a sponsored post, but they do a really good job, and they're really good guys. They have some really awesome vehicles in the shop at all times. So I want to show some of it and maybe give you some ideas. They're also the driving force behind off-road development. One of the things they do is they build really heavy-duty aluminum off-road skid plates for the new Defender as well as other things. So check them out online. It's a really great product. It's worth taking a look. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for a video on my ultra marathon, which I'm doing tomorrow, hopefully successfully.